Okay, let's get started. Today, you will learn about several concepts of data types like numeric, some numbers, and string, some texts, and Boolean, kind of true and false. And then all the data types are built into our Python code. So at the end of these lectures, you will get familiar with what objects of these types look like, how to represent them. So let's jump into our numeric values. So before we dive into details about, let's define the variables. Let's think of 1 plus 1. What is the answers? 2, right? Is it 2? Really?
Yes.
What about this? This one is also 1 plus 1. Is still 2? Or 1, 1? Is it number 11 or 1, 1 as a letter?
11.
And then A equals to 3. It means that A exactly identical to 3. In this case, we can call the A is the variables. It means that this number 3 goes to box A. Now A is the empty box, and then number 3 is goes to here. So now A has 3 as a variables. Later on, hi prof, how can you express the equal, literal equal? Yeah, later on, I'm gonna share with you. We have specific rules. In case we can call it grammar or syntax. So today we learn about the fundamental syntax to express the numeric and Boolean and string. So let's get started looking at the integer here. Integer, what is an integer? Yeah, the answer is that whole numbers, kind of you start counting out when you first learn about your numbers at schools. And the length of the integer value has no limits, although it depends on the amount of the memory capacity of your system has. So let's create some integers. Please make sure that you have to follow me, because at the end of these lectures, you're supposed to submit this working Jupyter Pi to Excite. Then I count. Oh, you are absent, you are present. Let's creating a variables with a values of equals, oh, this is Korean. A equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Kind of 20 million something, yeah. And also I would like to create variable b with a value of 10. Then we can check the numbers using some specific functions. Print function, open parentheses and close the parentheses. And I also want to know another one. Here's the variable. I put variable name here, put variable name here. Oh, here's the then I can run it. You can click here, click this, or you can see the shortcuts. In this case, upper arrow and the enters. You can click on this specific code cell, not markdown, only quotes, then enter. It learns. A contains 12 billion something, B contains number 10. And then this is just variables. The Python just recognized, aware of, oh, this variable has this value. And you physically use the print function to physically check whether the A or B variable has specific numbers. Yes, it is. And then it is also possible to do simple arithmetic using this print function, A plus B. You see? Yeah. We have new values. And then it is also possible to inspect their types. This is the 12 million, 10 is the numeric value, particularly integers. How do we check? How do we confirm via Python codes? So I'm going to use print function as well. And then I want to know types of A. And controls copy and pastes type B. And then learn again. Oh, A variable's class is int, int stands for integers. So this type and open brackets, your variable names and close the brackets returns class of the types. I mean, the class of the variable types. In the numeric, we have another types of numbers, floating. The float type is a Python. In Python, represents floating point numbers, which can be expressed with a decimal point. In a scientific notations, the character E, small and capital, followed by the positive and negative numbers. So let's create the floating numbers. As seen here, we have another A variables and 4.2. Hi, Prof. In the previous cells, we have already assigned certain number into A. Yes. But once you define again the next cell, the value should be changed. That's why we call the A is variables. Confirm, print A. Yes. And then also a number which has decimal points after certain values for examples, b equals to 4 point something, 0. Even if it is 0, it is still a float numbers. Probably this one is 4.0. So let's begin. Let's take out the, yes. And we also have some interesting the outcomes. You will see that the result of the divisions will always be a float numbers. We're going to define some variables to work with to make the divisions clear to see. So I'm gonna define the C equals to 10 and D equals to 4. If you make E variables, which is the C divided by D, then we can see the results. I'm hope that it could be 2.5, right? The simple calculations. And then I want to print out the numbers and I want to see the type of the E variables. So the print A is should be 2.5. This one probably the class should be float. This is my expected answers. And then let's run it. Please click on this. Yes, 2.5 and class is float. Always the divisions gives you float numbers. Also, we can see that another definitions, C divided by D, but I put another division numbers, division operators, which is the integer division operators, double sign of the double divide signs. In this case, what to expect? The value of the f, and then what's the type of the f? It probably I expect 2, right? I also expect ints because I used integer operators, integer division operators. By using the division operators, the integer division operators, you can logically set your code, whether you can skip certain block or you can continue the subsequent blocks in your codes. This is kind of specific techniques to represent your Python code in your program developments. We have a very interesting concept of a floating points errors. We used to face this kind of errors. This isn't something that only affect Pythons, but all computer languages. It is pretty easy to encounter this kind of error when you're dealing with your Python development of codes. Okay, let's define some simple variables again here. And then you can see A equals to 0.2, B equals to 0.1. And then C is going to be A plus B. Now, I'm sure you're all aware of what the answer should be. This could be 0.3. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I am also expecting the 0.3. But if you look at C, the variable C, we can see there is a tiny error at the end. Let's confirm. Oh, oh my God, yes. I missed equal signs. That's why it is quite important you type in your codes in person, physically, using your keyboard. It is the way you save your time during the exam. Wow, not a 0.3, 0.3, 0.000000004. This is something that you will still need to be aware of these errors, and then you will need to take it into account when programming. So I will define another the variable here, D. Why keep D equals to actually 0.3? Then you can see D really equals to 0.3, or your C really equals to 0.3. Let's see. Yes, it is. This one is true, but this one is false. This means that real equal meaning. So D is here. D is equals 0.3. That's why D is actually 0.3. But C is A plus B. Then this one has 0.30004. Thoroughly, technically, C is not equals to 0.3. By using these operators, you can logically write down and develop your code. And then in numeric, we have a third numbers, which is the complex numbers. And then it is quite specifically composed of real part and imaginary parts. But we rarely see this number for civil engineering problems. So I want to just skip this area, but you need to aware, oh, we have another numbers, kind of complex numbers. Let's move on the string. What is a string? A sequence of character data. And then in Python, the string is called str here, string. So As you can see, string can be enclosed in double quotes and single quotes. Let's defining string is quite straightforward. I will define a string as a I'm a string character here. Okay. For example, print double quotations. I am a string. And close the quotation and close. I also use single quotations. I am a string. Then learn. And then let's find out the types of the print types. I am a string, which is the class is the string, str. And we can also, I copy this. Multiplications, something like that. Simple arithmetic is also available in the string representations. Here, I'm a string, I'm a string, I'm a string. This is the string defined in Python codes. But when you represent your strings, please make sure that you use the same quotes, open and end. Choosing which to include the string in can be important because sometimes you will want to have one or the other inside in a string. So what if you want to include a quotation character in the strings? For example, print, I use the single quotation, right? And then I'm a string. And then let's try learn this unterminated string return. As you can see, it doesn't work. The string opens with a single quotation, and so Python assumes the next single quote is the closing delimiters. The final single quote, like this one, is then a stray and cause some synthetic errors. So if you want to include the either type of quote character within the string, the simplest way is to open the string with the other types. For example, use the double quotation, then learn. It works. Yes, we have another way to indicate this single quotation in the string. Later on, I will show you what symbol we can use. And then we also break up our strings because sometimes we write down over more than one line in your scripts. In this case, we include the backslash before each new lines. For example, print A backslash okay here B backslash C quotation. It will work. Let me see. Yeah. The representation is a ABC, consecutive and continuous string, but in your script, you can break up the strings. The backslash is that in your keyboard, this is the backslash, mostly just above the enter key or return key. And then this one is the forward slash. So you will see that the backslashes omits the subsequent functions. I typed A, put backslash and press enter here. But this backslash cancel out the subsequent functions. So in this case, we can use this print single quotation. I'm a string. And then this is not the closing quotation for string. So you can put your backslash here. It means that literally single quotation rather than indicating closing single quotations. Let's checking out. Yes, the backslash is the work. This is the way the backslash works. And next is the Boolean. Boolean is the variable that's taking into account the two values. It is either true or false. 5 smaller than 10. Yes, true. 5 greater than 10. No, it's false. Yes. This data type tells you true or false. The false equivalent to 0. True is any non-zero numbers. For example, 1. Let's have expressions, prints, actually 5. This expression can be evaluated in a Boolean context, and they are interpreted as a true or false. Let's confirm. Yes, it is true. Makes sense. And then what about print 5 greater than 10? Oh my, sorry. I'm gonna run. It is false. Python also thinks the way we think. Makes sense. And intuitively, we can defining the Boolean tags as simple as we set out the just true or false. Print true. But when you say true, it should be capital letters. And print false. When you change it to small letters, it's something different. Oops. This is the false.
You spelled your print wrong.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Yeah, sometimes I used to do like this. Thank you for your comments. And then, as you can see, you learn about the built-in data type and functions Python provides. We have several built-in functions we can use. So absolute value and the maximum, minimum, power, round, and sum. Hi, Prof. This is the quite similar to the functions built in Excel. Excel, right? Yes, it is true. And then sometimes Excel spreadsheet is more powerful when you deal with small number of data. But when you go to LTA as your work, and then every single day you receive the tunnel boring machine data, every single day. So the first week you can deal with such data in your Excel spreadsheet. What about after 10 years? You are not able to open it. In case you have to create some codes in Pythons, you can handle every data. Also, we have input output functions. You see the prints, one of the input output built-in functions. Also, you can use the input functions. Just read your inputs. Now, I'm happy to explain to you variables. So have you noticed that so far you are exposed to how values were created and assigned to variables? All the values shown have been literal or constant values. So if you're writing complex codes, your program will need data that can be changed during executions. So how can we use the variable to refer to objects and manipulate them? Okay, let's think of a variables as a name attached to particular objects. We just put your variable names give it a name, and put the equal sign here, and then assign any number. Print, and you see the 300. And as mentioned before, you can also change n variables, for example, 200. Print n again. Yeah. And then we can also assign the same values to several variables simultaneously, which is the chained assignment. For examples, L, M, N equals to 200, which is the chain assignment. So print L, print N again, but here is the same, so I will change this is 100. Oops. Oh, this should be this symbols. N is now 100. L also 100. So in Python's, not even the type is fixed. So I can say the variables now is my temperatures, and then variable still put some strings. My temperature is degree. And then I put the print name variables. Still, the first VAR contain 36.5 as a plot numbers. And then I redefine the variables as a string. And now this VAR contain some kind of string. This is because Python is a dynamically typed language. So we don't need to define types and define variables beforehand. So they are unchangeable for the rest of the programs. We can just start off with the n, or the variables being an integer of the value is 36.5, and you can also take the couple of some strings as well. This is quite also interesting. Multiple assignments, A, comma, B equals to 1,000 and 2,000. Then we can simply take A, comma, B, something like that. I don't force you to memorize all these kind of functions. What you can do is just memorize, no, just remember or just aware of, oh yes, Python having this kind of functions. Python providing us this kind of variability and functions. When necessarily, you can remind of these kind of functions and just apply in your code. Our Python exam is the fully open book tests. The most important thing is you trying this. Will do it. So these variable names, sometimes we have some limitations. So kind of name is my variables, and then I put Kim Youngmin. And then age equals to 41.
Damn.
And then print my name and age. I try. Yes. Here is the capital letters. So the variable name is quite the sensitive for letter and numbers, case sensitive. So you can see again. What
I
happened?
will use a small p print.
Oh,
Your
yes,
print.
yes.
So
It is
from
also
this one,
case
we
sensitive.
use our own name and age, or we use yours.
Is it correct? And then what about the variable names, kind of 0, 250934. And this is your Peter's student ID is today absent. Something like that. It's gonna be work or it will fail. Yes. Because you use the variable name being with digit numbers, it doesn't allow to define your variable names. So in case we try something like put your name first and underscore and your name. Then you can work. I will print out these variables. Yeah. And they mentioned before, the variable names also quite case sensitive. AG, 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 all are different. I try, here is a 10, here is the 11, here is the 12, here is the 13. Just try to print it out, all are different. In these examples, I will show you very some interesting perspective of the Python's how the Python's handles the string and numbers in terms of the representations. Name is the puppy. And then age just 4 years old. My puppy hobby is going for walk. And now I want to print out some texts. For example, just print my dog name is puppy. Puppy is 4 years old. He loves going for walk. But this question is only for my dog. What about yours? What about your friends? We have multiple options to accept the several data from somewhere. So in this case, that's why we assign the name, ages, hobbies as a variables. In this case, we can say something like that. My dog's name is, I just close the string and then I put the variable here. Then you can put plus sign or comma. This plus sign or comma connects your string and your variables. Print puppy, comma, is how many years old? Comma, year old. This is exactly the same. Puppy is the represented by this name as a variables. Is represent this string. That's why start with the double quotation and closing double quotations. This ages represents only 4, and then year old here, and then comma. Okay, see what happened. You see, my dog name is Poppy. Poppy is 4 years old, comma, something like that. Then you accept another data from here. Now is your Poppy name is Happy and 3 years going for swim and learn it. Now is changed. This the print functions accepts new variables. And then you put is he loves finish, comma, hobby. And then at the end, we don't have any continuous string and variables. We don't put any comma here. You see, in the first variable as a print functions, no connected the string and the variables. We don't need to put comma in front of the name. And then only put the comma at the end of the variable name here. Yeah. He loves going for swim. Can we change the comma, replace the comma to plus? Yes, plus. 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 And plus. Oops. Oh my God. Yes. I also missed something. This ag should contain the integer numbers. So in this case, we can put change these strings into, the integer number to string. Then probably it works. Yes. Happy is the 3 years old. He loves going for swim.
Prof. But if we put plus, right, then we don't have the spacing anymore, right? So can we just remember it's just comma?
In case you can secure some space in the here. You see something like that. In under your string, you can clear some space here.
Okay, Prof, I ask something. Because this one, right, I think we will use it to revise also, right? We can go back to this one to revise, right? So can I just write like how to say, because we need to submit this to you to show that we did our work. Can I just leave it as comma so it's easier for me? Then when I check it during examination, I can just use the common one because I think it's easier to understand than this plus one.
Actually, I don't care about these kind of things. Yeah, anything you can use. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
care.
okay, yeah, because I just worried because we're submitting this to you. Then later you say our one different from yours.
Mm.
It doesn't matter, right? As long as I still get the code. So
Yeah.
for this one, I submit to you in question mark, you okay with it, lah?
Yes, okay, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mm. This is the one of the ways we represent our numbers and then strings in our Python code. So later on, probably next week, we learn more about the way we represent string and numbers in a Python codes. But this comma and plus is one of the ways to show our strings. Here is some reserved words. Because the Python language reserves a small set of keywords that represents some special language functionalities. So we have total 33 keywords, and then they are case sensitive. As you can see, only three keyword, false and none, and where's true? Yeah, true is the first letter is a capital. And then they are all entirely lowercase. When you type in help and then keywords, you see this kind of already reserved keywords. Yes, comments. Comments is an integral part of the any program, so they can come in the form of the module level docstring, even inline explanations that helps them shed light on a complex functions. So you can put the comments, and then the other, for example, your exam, you put your comments every single line, then I can understand what your intention and your coding structures. So here is the today's activities. Please print out the following sentences using variables. The train is to Pasir Changi Airport. A Tuas link is now approaching. In this case, you can catch up. Oh, the final destination is the kind of treated as variables, and the other text string is all are same, right? So I will give you 5 to 10 minutes. Please try write a quote to represent these three sentences by using the variable definitions. Any methods are available if it is presentable. Because so many ways, right? So the best way is to utilize the functions that you just taught. But it is still okay you used very fancy functions. So I will open my personal coding styles my answers to you in 3 minutes. Just give it a try. Consider as one of the quiz questions. Then compare your answers to my answers. And then to check whether your code is presentable or not. I just want to know. And in the meantime, let's take a 5-minute break and then continue to the next topics. Okay, I'm gonna share my approaches to address these questions. Basically, I will put the structure of the printing some string is something like that. The trained to probably the the variable is the station 1 is now approaching, comma, this. And before that, station 1 is Pasir Ris. Station 2 equals to Changi Airport. Station 3 equals to Tuas Link. And then copy and paste and paste. And here is station 2, is station 3. And then just check. Wow. Invalid syntax. Oh, sorry.
Oh, inverted comma, yeah.
Yeah.
Prof, I put name 1, name 2, name 3, okay, right?
Yeah. Any approaches is okay. Because the parser list, the Changi Airport, and Tuas Link is considered as a string, so should be enclosed by the single quotation, double quotations. How come I forgot this? Yes, sometimes I forgot. So when you face such errors, you will have to some ability to revise the codes. So this lecture is best time to practice. You try, and try to learn. Oh, something error came up, and then you find out, read off the instruction, and then find out the right way to be long. Every load comes in norm. Yeah. So you can save this. Later on, you can upload this JupyterPy to Excite. And then let's move on to week 3, student 2026. You may want to download this file as well from Excite and then put this file into your folder. As you can see, we just finished it, data type and variables. The data type is the numeric and string and Boolean. And then also variables. We assign certain numeric and then the string into a certain empty box. The box is the variables. You can name it any letters except for starting with these digit values. Then now we can move to operators and expressions. So after this second sessions, you will be able to create complex expressions by combining objects and operators. The fundamental operators is arithmetic operators. Here is the simple examples. A equals to 10. B equals to 20. C equals to A plus B. In this case, the plus operators adds the operand A and B together. An operand can be either a...
How do you get to this lecture 3?
Sorry again?
How do we get to this lecture 3 area? This week 3 thing.
Yes. Okay, let me go back to Excite. And then civil skills. Contents. Probably this. You can download it. IPYNB is the Jupyter file.
Okay, so we download it into the same area as our Anaconda, then open Anaconda, open
Yes,
Jupyter node,
correct.
same way lah. Then can you give us some time so we can download it?
Okay, no worries. So you need to get familiar with the whole process. Download and save as, save your Jupyter file into specific folder, and then write down some code and check whether it could be presentable, and save as the different name of your different name that includes your student ID and your name, and then submit this to Excite. This is the entire process during our first piece for Python. So I want you to get familiar with this process. So you can download it and then save as with a different name and then yeah.
Prof, can you repeat just now how we need to rename our Python file when we upload it, when we submit to Excite?
Later on. Yeah. After finishing these lectures, I will let you know. Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so this
Oh,
week
okay,
two one, we just leave it open, right? Later on, then we submit it, is it?
Yes, week 2 and week 3 Pi. Yes.
Okay. You guys later.
Yeah, later. This plus sign is a simple operators. So what about this? Let's try D equals to C minus 5. The sequence of the operands and operator like A plus B minus 5. This the sequence of a plus b minus 5 is called an expressions. So print a, b, c, d. AB is already defined. C is the a plus b. And then D is the C minus 5. So Python supports many operators for combining data objects into expressions. So you can see plus additions, minus subtractions, slash divisions, integer divisions to get quotients, and then modulo. This gives you remainders and then exponents.
Prof, can you go back up to the first one? The Python operator expression.
So as you can see, we have so many available operators here. So we just give it a try how it works. So we have A, B, C, and D. And then simply put print A times B. It could be 200. Print B divided by A and print the modulo A and also print A exponential E. So no E, we put E variables to use these exponents. Something like that. Yeah. B divided by A is E. Always division gives you float number, right? And then this is the only gives you remainders. D equals to divided by A and gives you 5. And then A squared is 100. Let's see type of this type. And integer these things. One is the float, one is the integers. Yes. Just aware. Oh, we have so many operators handling the some integer numbers and float numbers. We have also comparison operators. Yes. Equals to, not equal to, less than or equal to, greater than equals to. The symbol is quite enthusiastic. I mean the intuitive. Double equal sign meaning equals to. Just try A and B as a variables, and then we put certain value into A and B, something like that. And then print A equals to B, probably false. Print A not equals to B, I think so. Print A smaller than B and equal. Print A greater than or equals to B. Yes, sorry. So many typo, so many typo. False, true, true, and false. Let's recall the earlier discussion about floating point numbers errors. The value may not be what you think it would be, right? For that reasons, it is poor practice to compare floating value numbers for exact equalities. For examples, let's consider the x variables 1.1 plus 2.2. And then print x, something like that. Wow, 3.3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3. So in case you can compare 3.3, it probably false. How do we treat this kind of floating point number errors? If I were you, I set some tolerance. This is the preferred way to determine whether two floating points values are equals. So for example, tolerance, be careful your typo. Tolerance should be under 0.000000001. And then we can checking out absolute value x minus 3.3 less than our tolerance. Yes. ABS is absolute, returns absolute values. If the absolute value of the differences between the two numbers is less than the specified tolerance, 0.00001, and they are quite close enough to one another to be considered equal. You can set this kind of coding techniques, whether we can move forward and then we can stop here. As you're aware, You can also see the logical operators like not or and. This can be used to modify and connect two or more expressions evaluated in the Boolean contexts to create more complex conditions. Let's see how it works. Of course, we have not or and. You know, the sum object and expression in Python is actually the Boolean type, right? So that is, they are equal to one of the Python objects, true or false. So A, we define another value, variables, A equals to 5. Let's print A smaller than 10. Yes, true. And print type these these contexts, which is Boolean. And then prints A greater than 10, print type A greater than 10. This is true, and the type is Boolean. This is the false, still type is Boolean. Here is the operator characteristics. In programming and logic, and here is the and, or two fundamental logical operators used in these our Python's codes to combine some more than two expressions. But have you noticed that you have very interesting things? First of all, and. This and operators returns true. Only the both are true. If either condition is false, the result will be false. When you take a look at the or, this or returns true if at least one of the condition is true. You see, true, false, it gives you truth. If both conditions are false, then the result will be false. This is the characteristics of the logical operators and or. We have operator precedence. Let's consider these expressions. Number equals to 20 plus 4 times 10. 240 or 60. Choose. Hurry up, choose.
60.
60. Okay. Checking. Print number. Yes, 60. should Python perform the addition 20 plus 4 first? Or multiplication 4 times 10 be performed first? It depends on the operator precedence. All operators are assigned a precedence. All operators of the highest precedence are performed first. Here is the lowest in the highest. And then it continued until the expression is fully evaluated. Hi, Prof. The precedent level is the same level. For example, multiplication, division, and then integer division, something like that. In that case, the operator can be performed in the left-right. Left-right. And also we have a built-in math function, absolute value, something like that, already discussed before. And then now it's time to deal with the round numbers. Let's see, let's check out these numbers. 2.3. But I put this round number, round. Print round 2.7. What? Yes, makes sense. It makes sense. Two point five. 3.5. This one probably 3. This one probably 4 because this one was 2. This one was 3 because this 0.3 is the less than 0.5. So we don't consider round up. So this is the 0.5. Also 3.5. Probably we expect this will be 3 and 4. Let's see. Well, this is still 2. We all expect a number that ends in 0.5 to be rounded up, but it doesn't work the way we think. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Because Python, now the version is the Python 3. Python 3 rounds numbers according to the way called rounding ties to evens here. Rounding ties to even. There will be a long story, but in short, a tie is any numbers whose last digit is 5. For example, 2.5. When you round ties to even, you first look at the digit 1 decimal place to the left of the last digit in the times. If let's say the digit is even, then you round down. If the digit is odd, then you round up. That's why 2.5 is down to 2. 3.5 rounds up to 4. This point is even, this point is odd. And then we can also set a specific ranges. Print round 3.14159 blah 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 blah, and only decimal points. Here 2 3.14 pi. We can set a specific ranges. And also we can see the absolute values. The absolute value of a number n is just n. If n is the positive, if n is negative, n is n. So here is the print absolute value -6. N is 6. N is just n. If let's say n is positive or negative. Even 6.6 as well. We take out any symbols plus and minus. Absolute value always give you positive numbers. Power with power. Asterisk, double asterisk operators. Print 3 double asterisk 2. 9. Because this one should be something like that. And then if you want to use the power function, I mean in your built-in functions, print power 3.2. Same outputs. And here you put the negative, something like that. Math module in Python. We have come to another important topics, which is the math module in Python. It is kind of library. You can use already defined function that comes in handy for us. Every coding language provides you variety of built-in functions. Python is #1 coding language program that gives you comprehensive, already predefined functions. So mathematical calculations are very essential parts in the Python development, right? So you're supposed to work on PBL using surveying. You can't escape the need for math because you can add up these two values and minus out the reference value and divide by something. And then that value is really accurate or not. How do you check? Just compare with the real measured value minus out your value, then you can check your error. Your error is big, you can distribute this error to all the numbers, all the points, and then recalculate again. All are arithmetic calculations. This math model probably help you to easily create such codes. And also more advanced options, for example, exponential, logarithmic, trigonometric, power functions. Here is the specific functions. From math, import, asterisk. It means or. For examples, print pi. Yes, pi is just pi, already built in our Python code as a math module. Print square root 16. Sorry. Oh my God. Why I put this way? Oops. Oh. No, it's okay? Yes. Sorry. We have another way. Just import math. We utilize all functions quite exactly, for me, exactly the same as the first options, but the expression is something different. For example, print math dot pi. Print math square root 16. Because they call the math function and import and or. Specifically in these modules, they include all available functions in math. But here is simply import math. So you can specifically define which function are you going to use in every single line. So this is the preferred way to call imports the math modules. And then lastly, we also have random functions. Generate random data in Python. Why might you want to generate random data in your program? Yeah, many reasons, but I'm gonna give you two clear reasons. It is for simulation purpose. It is for security purpose. How random is random? random is just randoms. One of the paramount importance in case where information security is concerned. Whenever you are generating random data and string and numbers in Python, it's a good idea to have at least a rough idea how that data was generated. So I will call random functions from random imports all. It means that we will use all functions from random and print random. It means that generates random values 0 to 1.0. Greater than 0 or equal. Random values less than 1.0. Let's see. Oops. Oh my typing. Sorry. See? Greater than or equals to 0 and less than 1. Do it again. Another value. Keep on changing the values. And then print random 10. It also generates, here is also random, values 0 times 10, 1 point times 10. It should be this one 0, this one is 10. Checking. Keep running. Still generate same ranges. Hi, Prof. 0 is included, but I want to include 1 over 10. Okay, let's do this. Print random 10 times. Plus 1 plus 1. Let's see. Can you see the more than almost 9.7, but still it means that plus 1, which is the 11.0. It means that this random is able to generate 10. If you want to generate integer values, just say that integer then You can see here. Let's see. It is able to generate tens. Oh, 9, 2, 9, 6, 8, 1, 10. I include this function, this line includes 10. And then if you use len int, it generates random integer between two endpoints, 1 to 45, including both endpoints. For example, here, print len int 1 to 10. It is exactly same as this. So let's try it. Oops. Oh, close. Now it's 6 and 1. Let's try. Yeah, you see, 10. The function is same. So you can create
Can I ask something? Can I go back to random function? The first two values, right? The first two, the random
yes,
one,
yes.
and random times 10, right? You cannot get 10, is it? You cannot get 10, is it?
Sorry again?
You cannot get 10 from the first two, is it? Only if you put integer, then you can get up to 10. Is it? The first two value, are they able to generate the value 10?
Yeah, float numbers.
So the first two, the random numbers got chance to get 10 also, is it? Or no chance to get 10, 9 point something only.
No chance.
No chance. Okay. So
No
only if
chance.
I put
Only
plus one.
yeah, these two is the only chance got 10.
Okay.
Correct.
It's because I put integer, is it? In front.
Yeah.
Okay. Then for this one, right, integer random, the third one, right, integer random times 10 plus 1, right? Got chance to get 11 or not? Because
No.
plus 1, right? Don't have.
This one?
Yeah.
No.
Because times
No,
10.
no chance got 11.
Okay.
Yeah, because less than 11.
Okay. Can.
Mm.
Right. Thank you.
Here is the definitions. You try out. Mm. Okay?
Prof, this image, I think all the image for me, is not there anymore. I don't know why. I cannot see a single image on my side. It's all like a code and an attachment of a image.png, then attachment. I tried to shift enter,
Oh,
but I cannot get it also.
oh, really?
Yes. I
You
don't know what's going
see
on, but
something like that?
I see it, but it's not a link anymore. It's just the words only. It's just black color words.
Oh,
Yeah. But I'm seeing from my screen.
it should be the markdown. And then you can execute this markdown cells. Then you can see the such figures.
All right. I think it works now. It's blue now. Let me try. Okay, yeah, it works now. Okay, thank you, bro.
Yeah. And then just 5 minutes left. I can share the screen for your attendance. This not this. Please scan this QR code and then put your response and submit. And then for the random values functions, today's activities will be conducted the next week. So you simply save as your week 2, week 3, your Jupyter Pi, and then submit that pies to Excite. I'm gonna share how to submit it. This is I hope that everyone is scanned already. Yes. This is our working file, right? And then file, save as notebook. And then you can put your name and the student ID. For example, Victory, Kim, and 010101, and save.
The prof, can you do it again? I didn't catch it.
Just save as. And then you can go to Dropbox. You can see hold on. Week 2 Jupyter Pi uploads here. You can submit your Jupyter Pies. Your Jupyter Pi should be here where you create your Jupyter folder when you're installing the Jupyter Pies. For example, my here, users, your name, probably this is your default path for your Jupyter Pies. And then probably here. This is my working Jupyter Pies, and simply upload this file to our Dropbox in the Excite.
So we need to upload both week 2 and week 3 Jupyter file, is it?
Yes, correct, correct.
Okay.
This is just practice because in your Python quiz, you probably create some Python codes and then save as and then should upload your file to Excite.